Hey y'all, so I decided to purchase a new tent, so I thought I would unbox it on camera and so y'all can see everything it comes with, and we can do a little setup and we can see how it looks and give you some info on what it comes with and the materials made out of and all that good stuff. So a couple of reasons before we get started unboxing of why I decided to upgrade. I had previously a North Face Mica FL2, which is the Featherlight two-person tent. Great tent. Took it on a couple trips. So I took it on a trip, kayak trip down the Buffalo River. Took it down to the Devil's River here in Texas, and it was a great tent. I liked it a lot. Got rained on pretty good on the Buffalo's River, and held up great in the rain. So I was very happy with that tent. But I just got married in November, and I wanted something a little bit bigger. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to get a new tent. And then another reason is it's always fun to get new gear. And then I've been eyeing this particular tent, for quite a while, and finally decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, and ended up selling my old tent to a guy from Utah. So hopefully he enjoys that tent as much as I did, and gets as much fun out of it as I did. So without further ado, I decided to open up this tent. I decided to go with the Nemo Dagger, and a couple of reasons why I decided to go with that tent before we get started is the size. So the North Face Mica FL2 that I did have is actually just about 4 ounces lighter than this tent, but with the little bit heavier weight comes a much bigger, or not much bigger, but a couple feet bigger on the footprint, and then also the square footage total is a couple feet bigger. Also has some bigger vestibules and a couple other features which I'll get into here in a little bit that I liked this tent versus my North Face Mica FL2. So we'll go ahead and unbox this. Be careful not to cut the brand new tent. Oh, and I decided I purchased this tent directly from Nemo. So I think with the footprint, which I bought that as well, I think the tent and the footprint together came out to be about $480. So you might get it cheaper somewhere else, but I like to buy things direct from the manufacturer. That way if there's something goes wrong with it. Nemo has a great warranty. I have a couple of their other products. Been real happy with it. So I just decided to go ahead and buy it straight from them. Okay, so it looks like we got here. This is going to be the footprint. Very lightweight. Comes in its own little, looks like a mesh bag. So we'll take that off separately. And here we go. Here's the Nemo Dagger. Pretty good size. A little bit, actually, maybe it's about the same size as the North Face FL2 Mica, but about the same size. One cool feature, that's just the receipt. So, one cool feature that the North Face tent has that the Nemo tent, sorry, that the North Face tent did not, was this, what they call a divide and conquer pack. So you can actually take the poles out of this and compress it down even more if you're hiking with a partner, which my wife and I are planning on doing. We're planning on doing a trip on the AT here this summer for about a couple days, just do like 50 miles or so. But we're going to definitely make use of that particular feature, so I'm excited about that. So here again we've got the, this is the footprint, and it looks like it comes in just like a little mesh bag. What I'll probably end up doing, which is the same thing I did with the North Face tent, was I'll probably wrap this all up together and put it all in this one tent. So, alright, let's go ahead and open this up. See yep, lifetime warranty. So, like I said, Nemo has a very good warranty on all their products, and that's another reason why I decided to go with Nemo. You know, you get what you pay for with these ultralight tents. Most of the camping I do is kayak camping, so weight is not a huge issue for me. But it's nice to have a light, compact tent, even when you're in a kayak. So, it's like, oh, that's a pretty cool feature. It's got here in the bag. It's attached to the bag. Actually, it's got a list of the major constellations. So if you're out, you know, at night and you're looking up through your tent when you don't have your rainfly on, you can pick out some of those. That's really neat. I like that they included that. And then obviously it's got your setup instructions here. So here is the tent. Looks like we got, those are the stakes, poles, rainfly. I like the material that we got in here in the rainfly. It's I really do like the green color too. That was another deciding factor of going with the Nemo. It's a cool color. Real big in to hunting, so just like that greenish color. I'm definitely gonna take this tent hunting. We're gonna go. Me and a buddy are gonna go up to Colorado on an elk hunt here in September. So definitely, it's gonna fit in good with that hunt. The material feels a little bit less sticky, I guess you'd say, than the North Face tent, which I like that so far. Another cool feature that this tent has, and actually my Kelty Gunnison 3-person tent that I use sometimes. I've had that tent since about 2012, and it's still kicking. It's a great tent. But another thing I liked about this tent was the Jake's foot is what they call this, and the Kelty has something similar on this, and I really prefer this over the grommet system that a lot of the other ultralight tents have. I just feel like it's easier to set up, and it gives you a bit better base. Some of the river trips we go on, you can't really stake out unless you tie some like paracord to the loop and wrap it around a rock or something like that. So this was a big feature that I was looking for in my new tent, and one of the deciding factors as well that made me go with this Nemo. So here we go. We'll go ahead and spread this out so you can kind of get a look at the size of the tent. You know, it's still going to be a pretty tight 2-man fit, you know, being an ultralight tent like it is, but definitely going to have a little bit more room than the North Face tent that I had. So it's actually looking, we'll see when we get it set up, but yeah, it's definitely, I can already tell it's going to be bigger. Another thing that, you know, I really like the North Face tent, but another thing I wasn't crazy about was the mesh. I actually got a couple scuffs in the mesh my first trip out, just packing it up back with the poles. So this mesh feels a little bit more durable. Another cool feature about this mesh is it's got the white mesh on the sides, and you'll see that better when I set it up. But the white mesh here on the sides that kind of gives you a little bit more privacy if somebody's shining a light around in camp at night. That white mesh is going to kind of reflect it a little bit better, so you give you a little privacy. But then it's got the black mesh on top, so that when you don't have the rain fly on, it's a nice night. You can look up while you're laying down in your tent, and you can get a good view of the stars. So, all right. It's got the DAC poles, which are you know, aluminum poles, which was a must for me. It gets kind of windy in some of the areas that we go, so you got to have those aluminum poles. Those fiberglass poles are just not going to cut it. So it's got it wrapped up here on some rubber bands. And these are pre-bent poles too, so you'll see when I get it set up, it kind of gives you a little bit more volume. So, but all one-piece pole system, so you don't have to worry about, you know, losing a set of poles or anything like that. So, that's the poles. Let's See, it looks like comes with a patch, like if you bend a pole or something like that, you can slide that over, kind of like a patch for the pole system, and kind of repair that on the trail. So that's a neat feature that the North Face tent did not have. Let's take a look at these tent pegs. See what kind of, oh, these are nice. So this looks like it's a Nemo's, it's their own brand. They give you 8 stakes, and they're actually, you know, they're not very heavy, but they look like they're actually pretty substantial stakes. I won't be using these a whole lot on my upcoming trips. I'll use it on my Appalachian Trail trip and my elk hunting trip, but my Pecos River trip that's upcoming, definitely won't be able to use these. There's nothing, it's solid rock wherever you're camping, so you won't be able to stake it down at all. So, but those are nice stakes, so that's a nice feature. Alright, so we'll go ahead. I'm not going to put the footprint on. Everybody who's watching this probably knows how to use a footprint. This just attaches to the bottom of the tent. When you put it down, gives you a little extra protection. You know, increases the lifespan of your tent. And you know, if you're going to buy a high-dollar tent like this tent or any other high-dollar tent, I would recommend getting a footprint, because you can wear this out. This is about $50, and just buy another one of these instead of having to buy a whole other $450 tent, or about how much it was. So we'll go ahead and get this set up, and we'll talk about it and the rain fly here in a bit. Alright, there you have it. As you can see, very good size footprint on that tent. Another thing I like about this Nemo Dagger is that how high the material here on the bottom comes up. The North Face tent, really the bottom part of the tent came up to about here. So when I sleep at night, maybe it's like a security thing or something, I kind of like not being able to see when I turn my head out of the tent, and I just sleep better in tents like that. So that was another thing I liked about this tent. So here's the, go ahead and roll this over. Get a kind of good view inside there. This is kind of a nice feature. It's got a adjustable toggle right here, so you can kind of adjust that and then put it through the loop and then cinch it down like that. That's a neat feature, and that's something I've kind of realized over the years. You know, manufacturers like Kelty, some other manufacturers that make a tent around the $200 range, you're still getting a very nice tent, but when you step up into the $400 to $500 tent range, you get all these nice little neat features that the manufacturer thinks about, and so that's pretty neat to see. So, as I said before, you've got these pre-bent poles right here, which give you a little bit more volume. I'm about 6 foot tall, so getting in here, you know, I can sit up just fine, not be hitting my head on the top of the tent. Just feeling the floor, the material is very thin, so definitely would recommend getting that footprint. I always do, especially when I'm spending, you know, over $150 on a tent just to try to increase the life of my tent. My Kelty Gunnison, I for a long time, actually used without a footprint, and it did just fine. But I eventually ended up getting a footprint just to kind of increase the life. But this one in particular, just as I can feel the floor, I would definitely recommend getting a footprint on this tent. I think you would be upset with yourself when you put a hole in the bottom of it that you didn't get the footprint. Another cool feature here is these light diffusing pockets here. These are meant to put a headlamp in and kind of give you some glow that's not so harsh. So let me put the rain fly on. Obviously I'm not going to stake it out as I'm in my living room, but give you a look at what it looks like with the rain fly, and then I'll take you inside the tent and kind of give you a look at some of these features on the inside. And the rain fly fits just real nicely on the corner pieces of these this tent. It's got adjustments too, so you can mess with your tension. And there it is. Obviously, you know, if I was outside, you would have you'd have two stakeout points. Let me push this back a little bit so you can see. But on each side of the vestibule, you have two stakeouts, one here and one here. So you have like a very large vestibule for storage of hiking gear or dry bags if you're on a kayak, all that good stuff. Another cool feature Nemo's put on their tent is a little vent pole thing here. You can just Velcro that on the inside right here, and if it's raining, kind of gives you a little airflow right there. Like I said, very nice material on the rain fly. I'm impressed with that. I think the material of the rain fly is actually a little bit higher quality than the North Face tent I had previously. Again, has the adjustable toggle for the rain fly, which I really like that feature. That's a nice little feature that they added. So, there it is. Like I said, obviously, maybe you'd have that staked out, but for the weight, I think it comes in at about 3 pounds, 8 ounces, not including the footprint, obviously. But for the weight, you're not going to find a smaller or a larger two-person tent at that weight. And that was one of the deciding points for me in this tent. So let me take you inside, and then we'll wrap the video up. All right. So here, just wanted to kind of show you the light diffusing pockets right here. It's made out of a special mesh. Obviously, I'll probably remove this tag after the fact, but you put your headlamp or a flashlight or whatnot in here, and it's going to diffuse that light, so that if you're laying down here and you're reading a book or whatnot at night, you can have a nice little glow. Also, you're going to have pockets here on both sides and on either side of the tent. So if you are one of those couples that likes to sleep head to foot, you're going to have pockets no matter how you sleep, and you're also going to have your mesh pockets on either side. So that is my unboxing of my new Nemo Dagger tent. I'm really excited to go try it out. I think here at the end of the month, we're going to go on a island camping expedition, island fishing, or island camping and crappie fishing. So I should get to try it out. I probably will do another video after I get back from my Pecos River trip, because I'll have 7 nights in the tent on that trip. So I think I'll have a good handle on how I'm liking it, and you know, what kind of features I'm happy with and what I think Nemo should improve on. But as for now, goodbye, and we'll see you next time.